I am going to tell you a story that's true. It comes from my mother. When I was like 5 years old, I had a butterfly net, and I went to the water near our house, and I saw an insect swimming. I thought it was swimming kind of pretty, so I took my butterfly net and I dipped it out and I brought it home and I showed it to my mother. And apparently it was a water bug, which are poisonous and they bite people. They're kind of dangerous. And my mother completely freaks out, told me to take it back to where I found it and release it. And she said, don't ever do that again. Then later on, she told me the story about what happened to her when she was a nurse working in London during World War II. Hitler was bombing the entire city. She said that the bombs had like a whistle on them, that he put a whistle on them so that it would have like a psychological effect. They called them buzz bombs, I believe. Apparently what happened, she was working as a nurse inside of a hospital full of wounded soldiers, and they could not go outside. There was rubble all around the hospital. And it was a miracle that the hospital had not been bombed. She said that water bugs came crawling into the hospital, and they assembled on the ceiling of all the patients' rooms into a solid mass. And I believe there's underground subways underneath London, perhaps. Or anyway, there's underground structures underneath London, like tunnels and stuff for subways to go in. Apparently the water bugs became upset by all the vibrations and commotions brought on by the Hitler's bombs. They assembled and they got inside the hospital, and my mother said they had no insecticides, nothing to fight them with, and she had to work under these horrifying conditions. The water bugs were like by the thousands, or I suppose, and they were all up on the ceiling of the patients' rooms. She said that she was bringing soup into a patient's room to serve to him, and she said one of the water bugs fell out of the ceiling and got into the soup, and she said she just dropped the whole tray and left the room. She had a nervous breakdown. Who wouldn't, But I was telling this to my second grade teacher, and my second grade teacher was just horrified, and she contacted my mother, and my mother said, do not repeat it. Well, my mother passed away back in the early 90s. I believe it was 1993. And so I thought I can pass it on to you. I don't think there's anybody alive who can recall this happening. I don't know how many nurses they had in that hospital, but she might have been the only one. She wasn't willing to repeat it, but I'm going to repeat it just for the sake of history. But I'm going to let you know that I don't know how they ever took care of that. They probably had to take a shovel and have the maintenance man destroy those insects, put them in a basket or a waste basket, and kill them with maybe scalding water, perhaps. But I'll let you know, that's what she said. It's an unbelievable story, but knowing how insects are, I asked her, weren't there any cockroaches in this group of insects? She said no, they were all water bugs. She has always been mortified of water bugs. We had to move from one house to the other house because when I was in earlier part of the elementary school, because a water bug was in the toilet water, so we had to go to one house to another. We moved like a half a mile away, but I'm going to let you know about that for the sake of telling it, because no one else is going to remember it because they've all passed away. I'll let you go at that.